Ordinary Average Guy podcast show. Oh, yes. How's everyone doing? Ladies and gentlemen, it's episode 1, season 2 of the OAG, the Ordinary Average Guy podcast show, coming at you, previously recorded from the Buxty Hootie Studios. It's your host with the most, J-Kenn, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, thank you so much. Oh, how have you been? To the tens and tens, how have you been? I've been, it's been crazy, busy, just doing so much stuff. It was nice to take a little break, from the podcast show here. It was nice to just take a little break ski, just to kind of, just a lot of stuff has been busy, which I'm going to go over, talk about here in my notes. But anyway, long story short, a couple of housekeeping items. First and foremost, last season we were doing a every week episode on Tuesdays. I am going to change that up a little bit. Going forward, we are going to do episodes on the 15th and 30th of the month. When we get to February, obviously, February is a little stinker. We're going to have to do it on the 28th. But all the other months, 15th and the 30th, that's going to give me a little bit more time to get my creative juices going, to maybe come up with some ideas, some bits and skits, maybe, I don't know, who knows? This show just goes with the flow. For example, I have a couple things written down here, but I haven't yet said any of them. So that's exactly what we're going to do here. Plus, if I get a guest on, that gives me a little bit more time to work out our schedules and get a guest on and do an episode. So I hope, to all the loyal tens and tens out there, I hope you're not too disappointed with doing twice a month instead of once a week. So that's that. Second of all, since I've been on a little break here in between seasons, I have to admit something. I was wrong in season 1, and gosh darn it, I hope it's not too late to rebut and renege something I said. I made a comment about mocks over Crocs, and gosh darn it, I got a pair of Crocs, and I'm wearing them right now. And they are delightful. I misspoke. And I'm man enough to admit it when I misspoke. I'm not one of these people that just, doesn't admit when they're wrong. Gosh darn it, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'll tell you. Now, if in this case, I was wrong. I like my moccasins, don't get me wrong. But the thing is my wife, God bless her, obviously doesn't listen to the show. She obviously doesn't care about what I'm doing here, what I'm trying to do for our family. She obviously just has zero care about that at all. Because one day, after I went on this big rant about how moccasins are cooler than Crocs, wouldn't you know it, she comes home with a box and says, "Here you go, honey." And I'm like, "What's in this box? You don't usually get me stuff like this, just out of the blue." And it was a pair of... Now, to be fair, these aren't even actually Crocs. These are, what the hell are they? These don't even have a name on it. Oh, they are made in China. They're made in China. U.S. Men 12. I got big feet. You know what that means? And no, I'm not talking about socks. I'm talking about, you know what it means. I don't even know what the hell these are. They're not Crocs, so they're knockoff Crocs. And when I put them on, I was pissed. I was mad. I told my wife, I said, "Do you not listen to the show I just told tens and tens of people about how we should go on a revolution and dust off the old moccasins and wear moccasins instead of these Crocs. And she says, "Well, I don't I don't listen to your show." And which is, how can I get anyone to listen to the show if my own wife doesn't listen to it? But that's neither here nor there. I tried on the Crocs, and they were, the knockoff Crocs, and they were insanely stiff, very uncomfortable. But when it came to going out in the garage or getting the mail or going in the backyard to do, get something quick, I found myself slipping them on. And yes, they were a little hard at first, but now after a while, oh, gosh darn it, they're my go-to shoe. They're my go-to shoe if I'm at home. And I will be honest with you, these things are fantastic. They're rugged. I cut the grass in these bad boys. I could stick my foot in the mower deck. and my toes would be just fine. Do me a favor and don't try that. Don't try that. I take that back. But I will say though that they are very sturdy. Like, for example, in my garage, I have these benches that I made a while back, and they have casters on them that lock. And to unlock the casters, you can stick I actually made this little jig that I can unlock the casters with, because it hurts my toes, my little toesies. It hurts them so bad when I try to flick them up. I'll be honest with you, I use these Crocs, and they flicked very easily, and my toes were unscathed. So, these things are pretty cool. I did a 180, and the thing is again, I'm a man enough to admit when I'm wrong. I never had Crocs. I think I was just jealous of people with Crocs. But the moral of the story is that if you went on and started protesting people wearing Crocs, please stop doing that. I feel like Donald Trump telling the January 6th people to stop rioting the Capitol. Stop rioting people wearing Crocs. Your boy J-Kenn's wearing them, and gosh darn it, I was wrong. So anyway, we beat that horse to death. Cross that off the old to-do list. What's next on the agenda? So you might be thinking to yourself, gosh darn it, J-Kenn, you are one of the most ordinary average guys I've ever heard talk. And you'd be right. You would be right. I am ordinary and I am average. There is no thrills. There is no frills. Nothing. Until and just when you thought that I couldn't get more ordinary or more average, we went above and beyond our ordinary and averageness. Ladies and gentlemen, the J-Kenn family are proud new owners of a dog. We have a dog in the house. Elmer is his name. Elmer. Yeah, thank you. And I'll be honest with you, he doesn't like me at all. And I don't know what I got to do to get this dog to like me. Now, this dog, I don't want to toot my own horn here, but we rescued the dog. Yes, we are those types of people where we rescue our animals. We don't just, buy purebred dogs and animals. We go to the rivers and we pull our dogs right out of the water. That's how we get our dogs. Anyway, we rescued this dog from Texas. No, actually, and it has nothing to do with the floods or anything. I guess Texas is just a state with a lot of dogs roaming the streets. A lot of dog gangs. This dog came. I could still see the heroin needles in his arm. And he had a pack of Marlboros on him, and he's a tough dog. Anyway, I take that actually all back. He's a very gentle dog. He's a really nice dog. He's not what I pictured a dog, because he was found on the streets in Texas, and how did that go? So they found him or whatever as a puppy, and then he was in a foster home. And anyway, my wife was on like this. If you'd asked me 3 weeks ago if we were gonna have a dog, I would have said no. It wasn't even in the cards. Like it wasn't even on my mind. But my wife then was like, "No, I've been thinking about it for a while." And she's on this like Tinder for rescue animals, and she was looking at these dogs and swiping left or whatever. And but anyway, all of a sudden we were at we had some friends over or whatever for a party, and I was drinking some beer, and I was feeling pretty good, you know. And for some odd reason, I don't know if my wife put the kids up to this or what, but they were all like, "Let's get a dog, let's get a dog." And I was drinking, and I'm like, man, a dog, that wouldn't be so bad, you know. Man's best friend, you know, that whole deal. And anyway, my wife was like, "Well, look at this," and she pulls out her phone on a little Tinder app and looking at dogs, and there's this cute dog, and we're reading the biography of it, his profile, and you know, he seemed like a nice dog or whatever. Anyway, so we messaged the people, this organization in Texas, which I don't know. You'd have to ask Casadilla that information. I don't know. I don't know what the details are. But anyway, we reached out to these people, this lady, and she was the foster parent to Elmer, and we did a first date, if you will, over the phone, over the computer there on the Zoom. Zoom. That's what the kids are using these days. Anyway, short story long, we have a dog in our house. Went and picked it up the other day, and so for whatever reason, I'm nice to this thing. You know what I mean? I'm nice to the dog. I'm petting it and being all like, "Hey Elmer, how are you doing today?" You know, acting like that and stuff. But for whatever reason, this dog is very skittish around me. He really warmed up the cat. My wife is obvious, like his go-to person. You know, he goes to her right away, loves her. Likes the kids. I think he can sense the kids are all about this dog. And I'm not anti-dog. I'm not against the dog by any means. I was, it wasn't on my radar to get a dog, but I wasn't like against it necessarily. But this dog, man, like before I came down to the Buck City Studios to do this podcast, my wife's putting the kids to bed, and the dog is like if I look at it, he runs away, right? And I just don't get it. Our feeling is that maybe there was an abusive man in this dog's life once upon a time, because the foster mom is single. She doesn't have a husband or a boyfriend, or a partner, as you have to say nowadays. She doesn't have anything like that. She has a daughter. That's about it. So, this dog really hasn't had a lot of guys in his life. So, he's freaked out or whatever. But yeah, he loves my wife and whatever. And and I don't know. And she's sending me all these these text messages like, "How to get to know your dog better," blah blah blah. It's like, it doesn't bother me really, other than talking about it for 7 minutes straight to myself. But it is fine. Like, I don't care too much about it. But he's a good dog. He's a we think he's a Norfolk Terrier mixed with a lab. He's long. He's a long dog, and until my wife pointed that out, I didn't notice how long he is. But now I look at him, he's like, God damn, he is long. And it's like, gosh, might be too long. I don't want one of these weird dogs, they're abnormally long. But whatever, it is what it is. But yeah, he's a Norfolk Terrier. And that was something else. I never knew anything about terriers. And my wife was like, well, because she's a vet tech. There's an episode in season 1 about her being a vet tech. And she was saying that pit bulls are a terrier. The terrier is like an umbrella. is a term to cover all sorts of different dogs. I guess similar to like I don't know, like maybe like a lab. You have a lab, and then you have a chocolate lab, yellow lab, uh, dark chocolate lab, yellow lab, black lab. But I don't know if they're all the same. I don't really know this whole terrier thing, but anyways, we gotta just tell people that's a Norfolk Terrier because we don't want. Not that there's yeah, fuck pit bulls. I don't want pit. I don't want a pit bull, dude. I don't like pit bull. I'm anti pit bull. Sorry if you're all about your pit bull. I don't really don't like them that much. They scared the shit out of me, man. Sorry if you're like a pit. There's this girl that used to bartend at this bar that I went to years ago. She was a smoking hot babe, but not that I didn't. That was before I was married, so it's all right to say it. But anyway, she was always like wearing these shirts that are like pit bulls are fantastic, blah blah blah. And people that like their pit bulls, I've learned are like hardcore, like love their pit bulls. But I don't know, man. I've read too many stories about pit bulls going kind of cray cray on kids and shit like that. It's like I don't know, with kids. I don't know. I just don't know if I want to deal with. I don't know. I don't want that. I don't know, man. I got 6'4" and a 3-year-old. Do you really want to risk it? I don't know. What makes it? And it's a terrier. I have no idea what the hell I'm talking about at all. No idea. All I know is that this dog, this Norfolk Terrier / Lab or whatever the frick it is like the most mellow. And I thought it was going to be kind of cray cray coming off the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like coming straight from a Mexican gang or something. But no, he's like totally chill. He's scared of me or whatever, but he's totally chill. He doesn't even bark or anything. He's crate trained, which my wife was like just like freaking all horned up about. And like, oh my God, you don't know how great of a thing that is. He's crate trained. I'm like, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'm not a dog guy, but we got one. So, the only thing about this frickin' dog, dude, is that I've been trying so hard to get my grass to look good, right? Did a whole episode about it. And now with this dog, I just feel like it's all going to hell in a handbag, right? Is it hell in a ham basket or hell in a handbag? I don't know. But it doesn't matter because I can't get this lawn to look good anyway. I got a beef with Scott's. I got a legit beef with Scott's. The lawn spreader. So I had a spreader, like a broadcast spreader, and then I was like, man, I don't have any control when I spread the fertilizer or grass seed, whatever it may be. I don't have control over it as well as a drop spreader. So I sold it and I bought a drop spreader off of Facebook Marketplace. Anyway, I bought some fertilizer from the old Ace Hardware, and I read the bag, and it said put it on, it was like, let's just say 6, right? The setting was 6 for a drop spreader. And I got a little cheat sheet on how big my yard is. It's 10,000 square feet. Is damn near on the head. 10,000 square feet of green space. And I mapped it out where all the whatever. Anyway, I started doing this, laying this fertilizer down. Get to the I kind of cover up all my yard, and I still got like a shit ton of fertilizer in the old thing. The spreader. And I'm like, well, obviously this thing, the bag said 10,000 square feet. That's what I got. Obviously the setting's jacked up. And I went and so then I just started walking around, right? I just walked around trying to use this shit up. Well, wouldn't you know it? All of a sudden, a week later, I have like just random strips all through my yard that are where the grass is like 6-7 inches tall, where the normally would it's time to cut it or whatever, and it's like double, triples the length, and I'm just like, what the fudge sickle? So Scott's, if anyone from Scott's is listening right now, you need to call me or email me and tell me what the deal is with your stupid settings on the drop spreader, because I just don't. It screwed it all up. And then on top of that, now my pool, now it's like 90 degrees outside, 85, 90 degrees outside. My my pool heater took a shit on me. Like legit. It blew up. It blew up like a bomb. I was sitting in my old lazy boy one morning, because I have it on a timer, right? So every morning it goes off, the filter kicks in, turns on the heater, and it's not. We have the heater on like a lower setting just to kind of keep it going, and that way when we want to jump in the pool, we can just kind of crank it. That's beside the point. I have the heater on, right? Because when I want to jump in the pool, I want to jump in a nice warm pool. But it's also crazy because, like, right now our water's 75 degrees without any heated water, and it's like freezing your ass off. Where when I set it to like 85 or whatever, or even 80, it's like that extra 5 degrees is what makes it very, like, not comfortable to, like, oh, this is beautiful. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why. There's something about that 5 degrees from 75, maybe 10 degrees, 75 to 85. I don't know. What temperature do you like your swimming pool at? If you have a pool, what's your go-to temperature? Please tell me. I would love to know. I'm dead serious. Let me know. Because I'm trying to learn this pool thing out. Anyway, I'm sitting in the chair the other day, and all of a sudden the filter kicks in, and all of a sudden, boom! I'm talking like bombs dropping on nuclear weapon laboratories. That's what it sounded like. I shit you not. I all of a sudden another boom. I look out the window. This fucking heater is smoking, and the front panel blew right off of it. And I'm just like, here we go again with this goddamn. I would tell you one thing. I wouldn't wish a pool on my worst GD enemy. I'm dead serious. If you don't have a pool and you're like saving up some scratch to put in a pool, you are that I don't know what you just don't do it. Don't do it. We have a pool because we bought a house with a pool. We lucked out. I fell ass in back. I don't want to brag. I don't want to. I'm just saying, I fell ass back into this house. We lucked out. And I had a pool and all this shit. And the thing is like, it's a pain in the ass. It's a royal pain in the ass. You gotta. I feel like I'm Walter White mixing up chemicals to try to get this pool to even be clear. After I'm done recording this, I'm gonna have to go outside and shock it. Which is cool that I have a pool, I guess, because that's the only thing I get to shock. At least I get to shock something, and it's the pool. But I gotta go shock it. I bought those 3-inch pucks the other day, $175 for those 3-inch chlorine pucks. Now, granted, they last the summer. I mean, should last the summer, but still, this thing is just, it's just, and then just to try to keep the water clear. And then when the filter blows up, or not the filter, the heater, now no one wants to go in the gosh darn thing. And swimming in it is actually the best thing you can do to a pool, is swim in it and get the water circulating and stuff like that. I don't know, man. It's like this pool is just sucks. Just sucks, man. And I would like to have people over and have like a pool party and stuff like that, but it just never works with people's schedules. It just doesn't work. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. My yard looks like a goddamn zebra. My pool I wish my grass was as green as my pool. I shouldn't say that. I got the pool's looking decent. I've this year I definitely was able to take some strides in my pool maintenance, but yeah, man, I don't know. I can see why people get pool boys if you can afford one. Get a pool boy. You know what I mean? Just keep your wife away from them. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what happens, guaranteed. So, ladies and gentlemen, time to do a read here. Would you believe it if I told you that we had a legit, actual sponsor? Would you believe it? Well, we do. If I would like to, talk a little bit about a wonderful place in St. Nazianz, Wisconsin. Meats Opera House. If you're driving down the road and you need a burger or a beer or maybe a soda, kitty cocktail, go to Meats Opera House in St. Nazianz, Wisconsin. And if you're looking for a time to go, well, I'll tell you when to go. You're going to want to go on September 6th because that is Meat Fest. September 6th. We have a cornhole tournament. Starts at 1 o'clock. We have a brat fry from 4 to 8 with the proceeds going to the St. Nazianz Fire Department and first responders. 50-50 raffle. Now, here's the deal with the 50-50 raffle. My old man, if my old man is there, you might not want to do it because he's going to win. That's just the way it is. My old man's the luckiest SOB when it comes to gambling. So if he's there, maybe you just want to skip that. But if he's not, then you definitely want to do the 50-50 raffle. From 5 to 9, we got the side project. 9 o'clock to close is DJ Paul Tyson. I thought that was going to be DJ Paulie D. My wife and I have been watching, we used to watch Jersey Shore Family Vacation. Was one of our what's that called when you have, what the hell, what is that called when you have a guilty pleasure? Guilty pleasure, because I never watched Jersey Shore back in the day, and then my wife and I, we had cable, and we're watching Jersey Shore, DJ Paulie D, but no, DJ Paul Tyson's, dude, that's who you want. And then there's also a parade at 5:30 p.m. So if you want to get involved in the cornhole tournament, or the parade or anything, you can reach out to Meet 920-323-2074. Meat Fest, Saturday, September 6th. You can't beat Meat's Meat. So if I were you, I would go. And maybe, hell, if you go, tell them that J-Kenn sent you from the Ordinary Average Guy podcast show. Thank you very much, Meat. So now we have some emails and messages. Now, I will say I was expecting an insane amount of messages, an insane amount of emails. For Christ's sake, it's been 2 months since I last spoke to you, and I will tell you that I have very little. I don't know what I need to do to get you people to email and message the show. That's all I want to make this show successful. Is a little bit of just some help is all I need. Some help getting some emails. But we do have one email here from Daniel Michael. And let's see what Daniel Michael has to say. Create the perfect website? ? Greetings. I am Daniel Michael. First of all, I'm not. If you got two first names, I'm not. This guy's trying to tell me something. If you got two first names, I'm sorry, but I'm not doing it. I'm not going with you. You never trust a man with two first names. I am Daniel Michael, and I have a great passion for developing stylish and functional websites. So if you're looking for someone to help you with with. So if you are looking for someone to help you with, our services include e-commerce, WordPress, Shopify, Magento website solutions, Drupal development, Joomla websites, real estate website custom. Please contact me if you're interested. Then I can send you our portfolios and some samples related to your business. Then, obviously, I don't respond to this guy. And he goes, "Hi, this is my second email, and I am still waiting for your positive response. Daniel Michael, if you're listening, get bent." I don't even know if that's a real, it went straight to my junk. You have to read your junk emails. Got an email here. Now, I don't know if this could be, I don't know what the hell this is. Dr. Kakadu? That's got to be fake. Like legit fake. Like legit. Dr. Kakadu, I just wanted to quickly check. Are you still using this email as your preferred way to stay in touch? Let me know when you get a chance. Warm regards, Dr. Kakadu. Hey, Dr. Kakadu. Yes, it is. Those are my only 2 emails. Junk mail. Thank God for junk mail. Otherwise, I wouldn't have nothing to read online. Let's look at messages. Let's check this out once. What the fuck? Come on. Here we go, chats. MD Rocky Khan. It's just like, let me tell you something, MD Rocky Khan. Hello, do you want to promote your Apple and reach a larger audience? I am a professional Apple and Spotify podcast promoter. I will increase your Apple and Spotify podcast listeners, ratings, subscriptions, downloads, and views. Oh, will you, MD Rocky Khan? Here's another guy, MD Borhan. Do you have an Apple Podcast, Spotify, YouTube channel? So what's this MD thing all about? It's in the front of their name. Does that mean something? All right. Here's an actual message from my buddy Bennett Olson. He says, "Can I get a tee?" Now, I can only assume you're talking about a t-shirt. And that's a wonderful question, and I'm going to throw that back to the 10s and 10s. Legitimately here, I've been looking into this, and I think I have a t-shirt that says The Ordinary Average Guy Podcast Show. And then actually my cousin made another shirt that my brother-in-law wears, and it says, I'm one of the 10s and 10s, which is really cool. And I was looking into this, how to do this. Now, I talked about this previously on season 1 when I was like, well, geez, what am I going to do with all this inventory, make 1,000 shirts, no one buys them, and here I'm sitting on all these shirts, right? Or whatever. But I do have an idea. For the Ordinary Average Guy, a whole world around this, right? So hear me out. I have a website, right? And it's Ordinary Average Guy, and it'd be like t-shirts for Ordinary Average Guys. And then there's Ordinary Average Gals, right? Then there's some shirts for them. Then I also thought about, and I think this would be a market to get into, the Ordinary Average Golfer. See, all OAG. Ordinary Average Golfer would be like golf apparel and stuff like that. But it'd be, I don't know, that was an idea, but I don't know how to do it. Now, I looked into, there's this thing called third party printing, or no, third party, something like that. I don't know what the hell it is. But anyway, maybe I should reach out to this MD Rocky Khan. And no, not him. The other D-bag. Sorry if you are actual listeners to the show. I apologize. If you're actual listeners to the show and you're real people, I apologize. But I do feel like this is junk email. Frick, I deleted it already. I don't know the guy's name. I lost it. Daniel Michael. If you're a real person. Maybe I got to hook up with you guys, man, because I think that's something to, but I don't know if I'd have the, I just don't, the thing about this third party thing is if you don't have to have the inventory. That's what's nice about it. You buy a shirt, They'll print it. They'll send it to you. I get a cut. They get a cut. And then you have your shirt. And then I want to come up with some different designs and stuff like that. It'd be cool. It'd be fun. Fun. It'd be awesome to see people walking around. The 10s and 10s. You see a 10 and you see one of the 10s and 10s. You're like, hey, buddy. And everyone's looking around like, what the hell are these two losers? What's their deal? And you're like, it's like a cult following kind of thing. But how? So here's a question to you, audience. How do you because I don't necessarily want to start, I guess you almost have to start that way. Just how do you get how do you start an apparel, a company like that? Like a lifestyle company. How do you do it? Like, so that, like that you actually make your own shirts, I don't know. Or do you just stick with going that third party route? Because I think this ordinary average guy, gal, golfer, goober, whatever, I think it has something. I mean, that's why I started it. I think that has potential. And, it's cool. Hey, I'm just an ordinary average dude, and nothing special about me. I think that's funny, right? I don't know. But anyway, if you do want a shirt, for the time being, I could probably get you one. And if anyone wants a shirt, let me know. Because if all of a sudden, like, there was like, holy shit, like a lot of people wanted shirts, then maybe that's something I would actually look into, getting a website and doing something like that. But for now, my cousin makes shirts. She's got a cricket. A lot of women have crickets, and they can do all sorts of cool shit with it. She made shirts. Like I said, she made the shirt. So, yeah, man. Anyway, thank you very much for the emails and messages. Now that we're doing the shows on the 15th and the 30th, you have more time to get your messages and emails to me. I've had people say, geez, it's like I know what I want to say, but you're driving the car down the road and you don't want to email and email someone when you're driving a car, which is, I don't know. When do you do your emails? That's usually when I do my emails. It's driving down the road. Seriously. Just JK, LOL. Just kidding. But no, that makes sense, and then you forget about it later or whatever. But the thing is what do you do when you're sitting on the toilet? You know what I'm saying? What do you do when you're sitting on the toilet? That's a perfect opportunity to just send an email. And then maybe if you send an email from the toilet, you can mark it. You could, I don't know. You could, have something in the, PS from the shitter or something like that. So I know that what you were doing when you sent that email. So thanks for that. I am going to end the in season 2 here now. We're not going to do the unordinary opinion. Maybe ordinary, sometimes during the show, I'll talk about an ordinary opinion. But that was getting freaking tough, dude. Coming up with unordinary opinions all the time, and then it's like I was just waiting for someone to be like, "You piece of shit! You don't like fucking Crocs, asshole." like, because that's the whole Pitbull thing. I kind of trash talk some Pitbulls. Someone's gonna be like, "You fucking asshole." Pitbulls are just as good as any other dog, and maybe they are. I don't know, man. I don't fucking know, dude. All I know is that I wouldn't have one. Sorry. I don't, I'm not calling for the extinction of Pitbulls. But I don't know. But we're not doing the unordinary opinion as a segment. And also, we're not going to do the song of the week anymore because, God damn it, that was so stressful trying to did I do that song already? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the final segment of the show is going to be a question for the 10s and 10s. Okay, I'm throwing this out to you, and I would like you to answer. Whether that is on email or message on Facebook. Again, my email is jkennoag@outlook.com. You can receive me on Facebook at the Ordinary Object Podcast Show. But I'm going to send out a question to the tens and tens, to the tens and tens nation, and I want your feedback. Now it could be a question about my own help, my own for my own sake, or maybe it's just a question just to have some fun. But I'm having a dilemma. I'm in a dilemma right now because I'm saving up money to buy a griddle, an outdoor griddle. I have a Blackstone, but it's like a little one. It's tiny for camping, and it just doesn't do what I want to do. I need a bigger one, right? So I'm saving up money to get a bigger, like a 36-inch griddle thing, okay? And I currently have a Traeger pellet smoker grill or whatever. So that's what I have currently, right? I have a pellet grill, and I'm going to buy someday a griddle. Now here's the question for the tens and tens. To get the trifecta, I want to get a grill. Now I have the pellet grill, but I use that more for smoking. Now the thing about the pellet grill is that when let's say like tonight, for example, I fried up some burgers, and god damn, you gotta first you gotta plug it in, then you gotta ignite, do the whole ignition thing, and it's just kind of a pain in the ass, right? So I was like, I should get a grill. Plus, I have this OCD thing where it's like I want everything. I want it all. I want every option available to me. If I want to smoke, I'll smoke. If I want to, whatever. So, does a guy get the gas grill, or does a guy get a charcoal grill? That's the question. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, J-Kenn, you dumbass, you just literally said you don't want, you want the pellet grill doesn't do it for you because it's not fast enough for like normal grilling purposes. So, you should probably get a gas grill. And yes, you're absolutely right. But but here's the question I will throw back to you. That's obviously probably the route I'm going to go. But here's the route, what I'll throw back to you. What about that charcoal taste, right? That charcoal taste. What if I'm in the mood for that? What if I'm in the mood to do that charcoal deal? Is there a grill out there that you can do both? I've seen some advertisements, but it's not like when you go to the store, these aren't popular. And if they are, they're under my nose. I don't notice them. But is there any that do both? Like a combo? I don't know. I'm asking you. But also, if I have, let's say a griddle, couldn't I essentially do whatever I would do with a gas grill on that? But I wouldn't get the char. I wouldn't get the char marks on it. So we're talking some real middle class problems here. But I am honestly, I'm curious. If I'm going to get a outdoor griddle, and I already have a smoker, so I got two pieces to the puzzle, and I want the trifecta. I need something. I think I'm just got to get the gas grill. This is what eventually that'll be the next thing I save up for, is the gas grill. But does a guy get a fucking charcoal grill on top of it? 4 grills in their backyard. Who in the hell would have? Does anyone have that? Does anyone out there in podcast land have 4 grills in their backyard? I don't know. Or am I really overthinking this? That could be an option. That could be a thing too. So, So that's it. Gas grill or charcoal grill. The caveat is at the time of purchase, I will have a pellet grill and a a griddle. I can never think of that freaking name in my backyard currently. Okay. That's the caveat. If you have, all right, I said it already. Ladies and gentlemen, that is episode 1, season 2. Thanks for sticking with me here. I hope you guys have a wonderful, fantastic day. The 15th is usually payday. So is the 30th. That was kind of a caveat to doing it. So now you get payday and you get the ordinary average guy over your airwaves. So doesn't get much better than that, huh? Huh? What do you think? Yes, I agree. It doesn't get much better than that. All right, I gotta get back up to this dog that hates me.